I'm getting messages. There's no volume. I'm just on memories or live videos.
It's this. Okay. Okay, can you hear it? Now you got.
Is there something on his
Got
end?
sound now? Wait.
Let me see. I don't think so. I can't even find the feed.
Right here.
I hear us.
Can you hear sound?
You can hear him? Him.
Hey, John, can you hear
Did he hear you?
Can you hear us? All right.
That's it. Doesn't look like it.
So I'm going to just check this. Right. Hey, John, can you hear us?
Go.
Yeah, I get sound. I got sound. Yeah, I get sound.
All right.
Well, for half of the viewing audience, I guess we've got technology. It'll be the end of all of us. Go back to the weather maps when you used to draw.
Used to draw them all.
You know, Harold Taft lived 2 blocks from me when I was 8 years old.
Oh, is that right?
Richland Hills. Yeah. I'll tell you a neat story. So I don't know, he would come and do the weather, whatever, and then he'd be home in the afternoon, and his son Ernest, we'd be walking from the junior high, and Mr. Taft would sit out front on the porch and read his newspaper. And it had one of those big bay windows and 3/4 acre lot. And me and Ernie had played baseball out in the front yard. And Mr. Taft had bought at the end of the cul-de-sac a vacant lot and had a baseball bat put on it and a diamond.
Is that right?
Yeah, I can hear.
And so this particular day he said, Ernie, why don't you and Larry go down the street and play that? I had that thing built for y'all. He said, oh, Larry's got to go home. We're just going to hit the ball a little bit. And Ernie pitched it, and I hit it and went right through that plate glass window. And Mr. Taft never drops the paper. And so I said, well, Ernie, I guess I'll be going, you know. And he said, Larry, hold on. You and Ernie go out there in the garage and get the shovel and a broom. And so we shoveled all that up. And he took us down to Chickasaw lumber on Belknap, got a plate glass window put in. And so he said, okay, so how are you boys going to pay me? And I said, I don't know. I ain't got no money. He said, oh, I know you don't. He said, here's what we're going to do. Every weekend or one day during the week, Ernie, you mow the yard, and Larry, you clean the garage out. And I said, okay. So that went on for like ever. And I asked my mom, I said, hell, I think we done paid this guy. And she said, well, you need to tell him he's an honest man. And he said, so I went over there and I said, no, I'm going to talk to him, get him out here. So Mr. Taft said, no, I think you're right, Larry. Y'all have paid. He said, Ernie, go in there and get the Bible. And I thought, oh, God, now he's going to preach to us. And he opened the Bible up, and there's 2 envelopes. One had my name, one had Ernest's names on it. And it was a $50 bill. I've still got that $50 bill.
Do you really?
Yeah, one time when I was back in my drinking years, I got broke, and I said, I know I got $50 in there, and I went to the bar, and I said, Mr. Taft wouldn't want me spending this money, and I still got it. It's at my house.
I'll be darned.
He was a good guy for me. He was really a good guy.
You know, he originally, when he started, he hired all the meteorologists for all the TV stations.
Yeah.
So he had a finger in everything.
Yeah, he was. And he used.
Can you hear us now?
That's right.
He used to play. The only time I ever seen him get upset, they had a little band or something, and they played out the Ranger game for free. And when Eddie Childs bought it, he said, I hate them guys. Get them out of here.
Oh, gee.
And I asked Mr. Taft, and he said, I can't believe that SOB fired us. He said, we didn't even get free coats.
Yeah.
So, John, can you hear us?
Absolutely.
There we go. Good.
We're telling jokes about you over here, so just wanted to know, make sure you was tuned in. Okay, so Rick, what do you got to allow this beautiful Saturday morning?
Well, it's good to be with y'all.
Yep.
We just need a weather forecast.
It looks like rain again, just what we don't need right now.
Rain, rain, and more rain.
Yeah.
And we've got John with us from Indiana.
Morning.
And you certainly put Southwest Ford and Weatherford on the map.
Oh, yeah.
And Charlie
West Ford and
Gilchrist,
Weatherford.
Charlie Gilchrist is probably happy for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of the first guy to do this. And we started doing the bit. I'm getting an echo, guys.
Did he hear?
Is he here? You here?
Can you hear now?
I can hear, but it's coming back at like a 2-second delay.
Feedback.
Feedback.
What's up? Feedback is just a delay, I think.
John, when you did all of those voices for WBAP, were you here in Fort Worth or Dallas, or were you in Indiana?
No, I was here in Texas.
Here.
Indiana's doesn't seem like here, someplace else.
So, but we've been informed you're moving back here to Fort Worth.
That's the plan. We were going to take you back.
Well, good. The next time we have you on, when we have you on again, we won't have to worry about this Zoom or whatever. We can do it all live.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hey, Wood, what's been going on with you? You've had medical issues? Have you?
Yeah, I
done
had surgery and I fell down. Was going to do it again, and
So, is the surgeries all complete?
surgery successful.
Super.
Now my left hip's bugging me.
Oh,
So here we go. No, it isn't. I'm doing fine, I think. John Hanson, there's a good story behind how you became, a partner there with Hal doing Sanford Sales, and all the rest of the characters. Too numerous to mention. But where'd you come up with Sanford Sales, the voice? I think there's a little background there.
Oh, I stole it. I stole as much as I could.
Well, from Beverly Hills Cop, wasn't it?
Beverly Hills Cop. There was a part where we tried to do a restaurant or something. This voice, and I thought it was great. And I just happened to walk one morning, doing it with Al, did that live, and here we are.
What were you doing before Sanford Sales? I mean, sound engineer.
For BAP and but yeah, that's why I was in and out of there. That was back when it was on tape. I'd go in every morning, grab all the old commercials, take them out, put the new ones in, and usually would strike up a conversation with whoever was in there. Generally, it was Hal, because I did it first thing in the morning. And like I said, I was doing that voice. He thought it was funny, and off we went.
Got it from Eddie Murphy, I think, wasn't he? Where you copied it? We never could be sure, which side of the fence Sanford Sales was on. It was kind of teetering there. Didn't know whether to shake hands or dance with you.
Do what now?
Either shake hands or dance with you. We weren't sure where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Everybody thought that.
Yeah, get away with whatever. Get it. The problem was, I remember I had an interview one time with the Fort Worth Star Telegram, and they wanted to know, well, what is Sammy's, is he quiet? Is he this? And I said, oh, he's Cajun. That was the
It was great. Classic.
Yeah, that's kind of a dubious way to make a living, just making goofy voices, something I've done since I was a kid. But yeah, it was great to get paid for being silly.
you did the voiceover. Who did the content?
Hal and I generally wrote everything. Now, once I did do some stuff from the house for like the last 10 or 11 years, and Sean Chastain and Hal wrote the majority of that stuff.
And we're going to have Sean on sometime in the future. Right?
One of these days.
Yeah.
We'll answer the phone. We're going to have him on.
John Mike Berger here, taking a look at what Sam from Sales was, and I think it's one of the funniest things I ever heard on radio. How would you have to change that to broadcast it today? Or could you?
Actually, I think things are a little looser today than they were then. Actually, a lot of the stuff that we did, yeah, it was kind of, we may or may not get away with it today, but I know Howard Stern was doing a lot rougher stuff than we were. And, you know, with us being a Disney station at the time, we would probably get called into the office at least once a week. We figured we weren't doing it right if we didn't get called into the office at least once a week. So try to keep it on the edge. But yeah, I'm not sure. It depends on what you're listening to. Sometimes it seems like you can get away with a lot more now than you could then, but then you look at the woke and all that kind of stuff, so I'm not really sure.
You'd never get away with the wacky Iraqi today.
Probably not. Yeah, you look back at some of the stuff. Yeah, it was, some of it was borderline racist. I admit it was.
Well, can you go back in some of the bookmarks in your mind and just give us the Sam from Sales?
Let's see if I can. I'm not sure if I can still do the voice. I haven't done it. Yes, it was more like that. That was what Sammy said.
You still got it, pal.
Kind of lispy. Yeah, that was it. It looks really funny coming out of this old white guy. A lot of people, when they met me, they go, "I didn't expect you to look like you did." Okay.
Did you come up with the idea for all the other characters?
Yeah. I did the characters, but like I said, Hal and I wrote most of the bits, and when Sean, and like I said, once I was doing it from the house, it was mostly Sean and Hal, but originally, yeah, it was Hal and I.
Well, what was your favorite character? Who was it? Willie? Rusty? Who?
Gosh, I don't know. They were all a lot of fun to do. Probably Dusty Plains.
Yeah.
That's a voice I don't know if I could do anymore, but I loved doing him. He was a lot of fun.
You also did the best Elvis impression I've ever heard.
Old Elvis. Oh, man.
That's right.
He was a lot of fun. Yeah, all that stuff was fun. And gosh, there were probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 characters that we did on a regular basis. And then if something would pop up in the news, we'd, try a different character. Like, what was it was going on? Something was going on at Comanche Peak, and so we came up with Big Earl Broadhead. He was running the tower down there. We actually had, I still remember that, we did a bit about that. And before we finished the bit, we had two representatives from Comanche Peak. They thought we were talking to one of their guys. And we did. It was the goofiest bit you ever heard. But apparently, the big boss heard it, and he was convinced that one of their guys was calling in the show. Weird.
John, did you ever think about syndicating this, or did you have the rights to it to do that, or not?
Well, actually, I would have loved to do it. The problem was BAP had rights to everything. I was an idiot when I signed my contract, and they pretty much owned everything. Every character that I did, they owned it. So, I could still do the character. I would have had to change the name and do it that way. They didn't own the rights to my voice, obviously, but I couldn't use the character names.
Do you think now, though, that so much time has passed, you could use it or not?
Oh, I probably could. I just don't know there'd be any interest,
I don't know. Everybody's interested in good, funny stuff.
Yeah, it'd still be
It
good.
would still play, I think.
We were a little hard on Oak Lawn in Dallas, but we did a lot of that. I got called the carpet on that one. That and Nelson Mandela. I made some joke about Nelson.
If you're not getting called in the office, you ain't doing it right.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you're not pushing it, you're not doing it right.
Yeah. You're exactly right. It was fun. But as fast, I watched them write those bits, and it's amazing how they came up with that stuff that quick. And then you just, by osmosis, you just have it. All the timing, everything. We were talking about Hal being about the best straight man. He and Dan Rowan probably ever. You just played it perfect. You set you up. It was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
That was funny as on.
If you were ever in the studio while we were doing them, because Hal and I would write everything, I'd be, doing my lines, and I'd look across the counter there, and Hal's mouthing every word. He knows exactly what's coming next, and he still laughed every time. And he knew the setup, he knew the punchline. Didn't matter.
We were talking about that laugh Now, when he's kind of, that insincere laugh is when he sounds like he just punctured a snow tire, you know, that, like that. But when he really laughed, it was a
Belly
he
buster.
did that and just hit that console like that. He did it. You're about the only one I heard him do that with. It was so damn funny. Even though he knew what was coming, he laughed like it was the first time.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
The best straight man ever. You know, of course, he wrote most everything too, so he knew what was coming.
But that didn't matter. He still laughed at it. He still had a good time with it.
Yeah. Probably one of the funniest guys I've ever known in my life was Hal. Absolutely.
There's only one Hal J.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
How much time before you went on the air? Would they just be right then?
He would take, just during breaks, they'd be right. And they give to him maybe 20 minutes before, and he just knew exactly what to do with it. He was the only one that could do that. But it was incredible.
We tried coming in like an hour early to write all our stuff, thinking, you know, it'd be easier. Let's get in early and write it up. Without the pressure, we couldn't do it. So there were a lot of times it's 5 minutes before airtime, and I'm still scribbling stuff down. We just finished the bit, and we're live. So without the pressure, we couldn't do it. We had to have the pressure.
Well, John, who actually came up with the idea of Sam from Sales? Was it you and Hal? Was it something that just hit you one day? And
I was like I said, I came in one day to the studio, and I was a production director, so I'm in and out of the studios all the time, getting tapes and striking up conversations with whoever's in there. And I started doing that voice to Hal, and he said, "Oh, we got to do that." And he came up with the name. Well, let's do this. Let's call him Sam from Sales, and that's kind of where it went. I came up with the voices, and Hal was the brains when it came to that kind of thing, as far as putting the bits together.
But Beverly Hills Cop is where kind of you got the idea from San Francisco.
Absolutely.
The other character is incredible. Wacky Iraqi, Larry Mine, that's still one of my favorites. I love that. And then Sean would have those explosions going on in the background. It was just great. That was real fun.
It's a fun way to make a living. I gotta admit, it's a fun way to make a living.
well, John, how long did it go on? How many years did you all do it?
Let's see, we started in 80, I think. I want to say 86. 85 or 86 is when we first started. And they showed me the door in 08.
Mm-hmm.
But Dick Siegel was still.
Siegel there, he was there for a while.
He was there, I want to say he left around 04, 05, maybe, 03, maybe somewhere in there.
He came over to the ranch where I was. They gave him a morning show.
Is that right? 03, 04, is that right?
Yeah, about right. He had that morning show for about 10 days. They said, kicking you up to afternoons. So,
I was working kind of the other side of the clock when I first heard Sam from Sales. I almost drove off the road. I just pulled over and laughed.
It's unbelievable.
well, hell, there were actual wrecks. I mean, rear ends of people laughing, just howling. It's good. What I notice about radio or anything else, if you're having fun in the studio, if you're laughing in the studio, they're laughing in the car. That's for sure. Having wrecks.
The only thing I ever heard that really kind of compared to it, I don't know if you're familiar with it, was the Q Zoo in Tampa when they started that. And that became so popular, gas stations actually had to put speakers out by the pump.
Wow.
Or people wouldn't stop there. But I put that in the same category you guys did because it was kind of extemporaneous and fast and funny and you never knew what was coming next.
Really.
Roy D. Mercer, one of those guys. Yeah.
He's a funny guy.
But WAP made a fortune on those tapes. Put all the characters together on a tape. I think they had 5 different editions of it. I've lost all 5 of mine, but anyway, still can't find the tape. But they had all the characters on them, the fun guys or whatever. You remember that?
Yeah.
And WAP sold them, just sold out. Never saw a penny.
Well, y'all had a morning show and an afternoon show. Did you have the characters on both shows, or was it just mostly?
I just came when they were doing mornings.
Okay.
When they quit doing afternoons. By the same time, Star Telegram quit throwing the paper in the afternoon.
Yeah. When I was doing mornings and afternoons, we had Sam strictly at I want to say like right after ABC News, which was like 5:05, and then we do like maybe different characters in the morning. And eventually, they wanted us to do Sam, so I'd do Sam twice a day when we were doing morning. We'd do Sam in the morning, Sam in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That's a lot of content to come up with.
Oh yeah.
They did it.
And they made us cut it down when we first started doing like the Sam from Sales bits. If you find any of the, like maybe the first take or second take, some of those bits had run 7, 8, 9, sometimes 10 minutes long. And then the last probably 8 or 10 years that we were doing it, they cut us down to like 2 or 3 minutes. So it was nothing to do several characters a day. We were used to writing one character 8 to 10 minutes. So just chop it all up and do different characters.
But you do real voices too, did you? You did great Elvis. But I think you did Jack Nicholson, did you too?
Yeah, I did not a great Jack Nicholson, but passable.
What's your best? What's your best one?
Favorite?
The best voice you can do. Which one was that?
Oh, as far as imitating somebody
Yeah.
as a, oh gosh, probably Elvis.
Elvis,
Because,
for sure.
you had a, oh man, I can't believe it's you, this kind of, obviously an exaggerated version of Elvis, but it was a lot. And the thing about any of those bits too, not everyone was a home run. Of course, Hal and I, we thought they were funny when we wrote them, but when you listen back to them, when Hal and Dick were laughing at them, it made them sound like they were funnier than they really were. So,
Well, their laughs are contagious. I mean, you get them laughing.
oh my God.
I don't care what you're laughing at.
It make you laugh, yeah.
True story.
So John, when you left BAP, what happened? Where did you go? What did you do?
A little bit of everything. I ended up in the car business, ended up selling cars for a number of years. So that was kind of what I did. Got completely away from radio after they, said bye-bye to me. I just kind of lost my taste for radio. I was kind of disgusted with the whole thing and never really tried to get back in afterwards.
Well, they're brilliant. They got rid of all the characters and said, we're going to be strictly news. And those ratings dropped faster, than an anvil. I mean, they just don't get it. I don't understand.
Well, it's not my jukebox. So they did what they felt like they needed to do, and BAP was going to go on with it without me. I mean, that place is very so.
Where did you work before you got to BAP, John? What were you doing?
Actually, I did a little bit of everything. I mean, I was a truck driver, heavy equipment operator. I worked in a couple of different factories when I lived here before I moved, to Texas from Indiana. And after I got out of radio, like I said, kind of went into car sales.
Well, if you were a truck driver and all of those heavy equipment operator, how in the world did you get into radio?
When I was in high school, they had a high school radio station, one of the very few high schools in the state of Indiana that had a radio station. And I got to play on it, and I just loved it. But one of these days, I want to do that. And while I was when I was a heavy equipment operator, there used to be a broadcast school called Elkins in Dallas.
Sure.
I don't know if anybody.
Sure.
The Elkins Institute, yeah.
Elkins Institute, discovered Elkins Institute, went to Elkins Institute, got a job right out of Elkins Institute at KSST in Sulphur Springs, and was there for about a year and a half, and went from there to KSCS as a weekend disc jockey, and then from there went to BAP. KSCS and BAP were sister stations, so they had an opening at BAP, so I just changed stations.
It kind of, I look back, when I started in radio, it's a little bit like what you said, and a little different. I was out of the service, had nothing going on, and they needed a weekend all-night guy. The hardest job to fill in radio, all nights and weekends.
Oh,
And so
Absolutely.
Just kind
I
of
mean,
walked
there's-
into it. It was
Yeah.
But you started in radio before you went to TV.
correct. Yeah, I was in radio for 10 years. And actually, I did, I guess, pretty well, you would say. I was at a big country station in Orlando. It was 50,000 watts during the day. At night, you had a hard time picking us up across the street. But yeah, I became program director, did the morning show, and then I was on the Country Music Association Board of Directors for one term. Yeah, I was very lucky. I met a lot of people and interesting times.
That was all AM back then.
Well, we had FM, but it was all canned. It was beautiful music. And then when the first guy came into Orlando and turned an FM station into a rocker, and it just it exploded. So,
Then he went into
Not
TV.
charging.
yeah, then I got into TV. That was that was another
Was that
story.
a step?
I don't know about you, John, but I always felt that the good Lord had His hand on my shoulder and always pointed me in the right direction. Most of the time.
Amen. Just, in my case, there was a lot of luck involved, and I never transferred over to TV because, as you can see, I have a face for radio. So
Yeah, both you and Haywood have a face for radio.
Yes, we did. Thanks for the compliment.
Well, I wore a beard for 17 years on radio and TV, John.
Yeah. Well, I've worn this thing for so long. I tried shaving it off a couple of years ago. My face breaks out, so I'm stuck in the world.
That's the most pain I've ever had, shaving, straight razor, shaving a beard off. I'm laying on the floor crying, just please. I mean, you got to get a pair,
You gotta
shears
get,
first.
get a clippers to
Clipper
do it
down,
first to get
I mean,
it short
it's-
enough that you can actually shave.
Only way to do it.
So when are you coming back, John?
Well, like I said, we moved up here for my mother, and she passed here. I guess it's been almost 2 years, and we would have moved back last year, except my wife has an online business that has really taken off, and she's doing a couple of national shows that are up here in the Midwest. So it doesn't make sense to move back to Texas and have her travel back up to Chicago and Chicago, Cincinnati, and I think Louisville, Kentucky. But they've got her doing a bunch of stuff this year and next year. And after that's over, I said, I want to come home. I want to come back to Texas. Both of my kids are still there. Most of my friends are still there. And I just, like I said, I moved down there about 40 some odd years ago and just fell in love with Texas. So I'm coming home eventually, hopefully in the next year or two.
Now, have you done any commercial work for companies when you're up there in Indiana?
I have not. That was probably one of my favorite ways to make a little extra money was doing voiceovers. I've just loved it. But I haven't really, honestly, I haven't pursued it at all.
You're at Cabela now, aren't you?
Yep, got me a little part-time job, keeps me out of trouble. I mean, the first 2 years of retirement were fantastic. I just loved it. Nothing to do. And then after a while, nothing to do got really boring. So 2 or 3 days a week, I go at the Cabela's and sell guns. Work in their gun library.
Well, that's a kick.
Things should be picking up.
I would almost think, now, just an idea, but with your talent, your ability, it seems like you could go into Cabela's and do all sorts of stuff to entertain the customers and bring customers in.
Well, I do chat them up a bit, but here's the thing, too. I'm really much more of an introvert than an extrovert. And when I got into car sales, I had to learn to walk up to somebody, stick out my hand and say hello. It was the most awkward thing in the world. And when you were in radio and you did, live appearances, people came to you. It was a little different. They wanted to say hello to you, so you didn't really have to worry about it. But on the flip side, in sales, where you got to, run up, hey, hi, that was hard to do. I mean, I can do it, but it's not natural,
Don't you think a lot of people that got in radio and or television are on the introverted side?
Almost everybody I've ever met, with the exception of probably Al J. Al J is not funny. he's pretty much the same guy on the air as he is off the air. But yeah, well, you remember Terry Dorsey over at KSCS?
Sure.
That guy off the air, you'd never known. I mean, he was a wallflower, very introverted kind of guy. But boy, you turn that microphone on and he's ready to go. But most of the people I met in radio were more introverted than anything.
Sure.
How did you get to WBAP?
I'm a terrible introvert.
I can tell you.
We'll talk. Yeah. Yeah, you promise not to say anything? Sure. Okay. Well, you're hired.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be over here in the corner
Yeah.
in fetal position.
Well, I got a job at, like I said, at KSST out there in Sulphur Springs, and just started sending resumes. I just got, I think KSCS and KPLX. Are they still there? KPLX? They used to be.
Well, the Wolf is what? KSCS is the
Yeah,
the other country station.
Yeah,
WBAP used to be country.
Dallas Fort Worth at the time. I sent tapes and resumes to every one of them, and I got a response back from KSCS to do weekends. So I was working a full-time job Monday through Friday, and then I worked then I worked 2 6-hour shifts, Saturday and Sunday, for KSCS for almost a year, 7 days a week, just waiting for a chance. So I finally got it.
I think that WBAP, if I can remember correctly, probably the late 60s, early 70s, they went into that.
I was just a child.
They started that country gold. And I had a friend, I can't think of his last name. His first name was Don. And he was a disc jockey, I think, at KXOL. He went to WBAP to start that country stuff. And then they got Bill Mack in there, and then that Cowboy.
Yeah, you're probably thinking of Don Harris.
Yeah,
Not a bit.
he was Don Harris.
Yeah.
Randy Galloway, I think he and Don Harris were good friends too. Randy's the best. And used to have some fun with him.
When I first came to BAP KSCS, they had Don Harris, Don Day,
Don Day's that
Don
guy.
Day.
Don Day was that guy.
Okay.
But
The two
okay.
Don Day and Don Harris, they were on right after each other. And then, what's his name? Bill Mack. Bill Mack wasn't there when I first started, but after a year or two, he came back to be on my show.
I've got a question about all this wattage, because you said something about 50,000 watts during the day, and then they turn it down at
It's a
night.
blowtorch, yeah.
But I think that WBAP, it was 50,000 watts at night.
At night, yeah.
Whenever
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Mack was doing it.
There weren't a lot of what they call clear channel stations. The one I remember best, because when I was growing up in Iowa, I listened to was WLS in Chicago, and they were 50 kW all the time, all directions. And then of course the station down in Laredo that Wolfman was at.
That's what I was going to say.
500,000 watts.
We'd leave here as kids to go to Mexico and listen to Wolfman Jack all the way. He'd say, got 100 records for 99 cents, 45 RPMs.
He was selling autographed pictures of Jesus.
I remember that.
You remember that?
I do remember
I
that.
think I bought 2 of them. I don't think they're real. But no, sir, he was unbelievable. He was in American Graffiti, the movie,
Yeah.
but he died about 10 years ago, I think. But he was something.
Well, the clear station, remember, you got to be of a certain age to remember this. The old AM radios, remember, had there were 3 or 4 little orange hash marks across the dial.
Yeah.
As a kid, I never knew what those were.
Yeah.
Those were your clear channels. 820 was one of those places on the dial that you could always, in an emergency, you could, turn your radio to one of those hash marks, and you could always hear a broadcast. And BAP was one of the ones on it. So yeah, the old WBAP 820 blowtorch at night, man, you could pick them up. We got stuff from people in Greenland that had picked up it.
That was me. I was lost. I was found.
Yeah, I lived in Colorado Springs for a while when I was in the Army up there. And
I love that
sometimes I could get WBAP. So.
Sure.
At nighttime, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that signal would skip and go everywhere.
It would.
I had the privilege years ago of working with a guy that worked at WLAC in Nashville, and at night they covered the world. And one of the problems was that the mic key usually goes left or right. At LAC, it went up and down. And they decided to have a little New Year's Eve party while he was on the air. And I guess the world heard some things they weren't supposed to hear.
Little open mic stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Hot mic.
Yeah.
You know, Bill Mack came on at night, Midnight Cowboy, and Hal was hired as a station manager, not as an on-air talent. But Bill Mack was, you know, he tuned in to Bill Mack every once in a while, just check, make sure everything was all right. One time, Hal's driving home from Dallas, and he tunes in, and there's this strange voice slurring on the other end. What the hell? And so he's on the way back. He goes up to WBP, goes up fifth floor or whatever. And in there is a gas station attendant named Leo. And the reason Hal knew his name was Leo is because it was stitched right here on his shirt. And there were about 40 empty beer cans right there. And he's going, where the hell is Bill Mack? And this gas station just dead drunk said, well, he just said, I'm supposed to stay here till he comes back. He's going to visit a sick friend. True story. Hal was just, I mean, yeah, they finally get him out of there, you know, Leo. He's just goat drunk. And anyway, the next day, Hal goes in. He told me the story. You probably know it, John. Goes in and talks to Warren Potash, said, you know, station manager, we're going to fire Bill Mack. And Potash said, oh, no, you're not. You're not firing Bill Mack. Says, well, I'm going to quit. He said, no, you're not. Well, I want you to do it. I'm going to put you on in the mornings. And that was how that's how he wound up in the morning with Siegel and those guys. He got Dick Siegel and him together. And that started the morning show, which is classic. And you knew that story, though, about Bill Mack, didn't you? John?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I hadn't heard that one, but I do know. I do know Al and Dick were good on the air, but off the air they didn't really hang out. They were.
Oh no, I knew that, but
not really close. We'll just put it, they weren't really close. Yeah, we'll stop it.
I love when the helicopter was repossessed by the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that? He was driving around in a Corvair, you know, doing weather or traffic.
He was getting paid X amount, you know, for fuel and all this kind of stuff in that helicopter. And we found out most of the time when he was doing his reports, you could still hear the helicopter going, but he was landed in the field somewhere.
Yeah.
And they're idling and giving you the traffic reports.
He was saying all clear, and they'd be calling into the station going, tell that dumbass, I've been backed up in traffic forever. It was just,
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
everything's wonderful. Dick Siegel.
Great.
Boy, there was another side of Dick Siegel nobody knew about. He was something, but everybody loved him. So,
Yeah.
Hal and Dick.
You know, the technology kind of changed the traffic because we have it on our phones, our maps. We know what's ahead.
I don't know why TV station does traffic. You're at home.
Who's gonna be
Why do you
watching
care? You know, but it's one of the main things they do.
Well, it's usually attractive women doing it.
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. A D cup and he'd be on there.
Weather and traffic.
You know, and if anybody's got an answer, I'm interested in hearing it. But I worked at Channel 11 for a long time. We had 3 meteorologists. That was it. Well, now it's like they have 20. And I understand they have a lot of part-time people. What, are they just not paying people? What's the story?
The only one I remember with a degree in meteorology was Jeff Jameson. I remember.
That's right. Yeah.
They're few and far
Well,
between. I know
Christine
that.
Christine had one.
Christine.
Yeah, she sure did. She went to A&M. Yeah.
And she was a D cup.
How did you get to be a meteorologist?
Oh, Lord. How much time do we have? Actually, I was doing radio, and the secretary at the station I was working at called up in the control room one day, and she said, they're looking for somebody to do weekend weather. At that time, it was a combo. It was radio, AM, FM, and TV. So she said, get over there and see what you can do. So they hired me to do weekends. And I knew just about enough about weather to get in serious trouble. And we actually were in this old, I don't know what it was an old warehouse or something, a tin warehouse. And one night I'm doing the weather and it started to rain. And of course, when it rained in there, you could hear it sounded like the end of the world. And I just stepped off set and I picked up an umbrella and I stood there and did the weather. And they were not happy about it, but there was a leak in the roof. So what are you going to do, you know? And I got a call from a fellow who worked at the National Weather Service. He said, if you ever need any help, give me a call. So I used to do radio, then go over on weekends and do TV, and then I would spend every night at the Weather Service reading books, learning about all of this stuff. And I finally got a hold. I asked him a question one day, and he said, I don't know, but I know a guy that does. The fellow's name was George Maurus, and George was a lead forecaster for 8th Air Force and forgot more about weather than most people ever knew. And so he kind of took me under his wing, taught me all this stuff. And George he'd taken all the winds and the temperatures for 3 months, January, February, and March in Florida, because of all the orange groves and everything. It's real important. So as one night I was over there and he handed me this book. He said, all you have to do is forecast the wind direction and the cloud cover, and there's your temperature. So everybody else in town, well, you know, it's going to get down to about 28, 29 degrees tonight. And I'm looking at this and I'm looking at what the clouds are going to. I said, well, it's going to be about 26, but in those low pockets, it could be 24, 25. And citrus trees can stand down to 27 degrees for about 3 hours. And then you got semis and pickers out there picking everything they can to squeeze it. But that's kind of how I got into it. Then I went to Mississippi State for a couple of years and got the credentials I needed for the SEAL, and that's how I got it. So, more than you ever wanted to know.
It was.
Yeah, thank you.
What was the question?
But
You're the best.
Do you have some kind of quota, like you got to be right this much of the time, or is it just
No.
guess at it this much of the time?
Everybody did their best. When I started at Channel 4, I'll never forget it. There were 2 thunderstorms out around Mineral Wells, and they're at 60,000 feet. When I was in Florida, if you saw a 40,000 foot top, that was something. And Ron Jackson was working with me, and I said, Ron, this is going to be bad. And he just, nah, they'll never get here. And I'm thinking, Mineral Wells, they were moving about 50 miles an hour. Mineral Wells, Fort Worth, not going to take that long. Nah, they're never going to get here. Well, what I hadn't thought about is what the jet stream was doing. And the storms got to about Weatherford and took a left and went to Oklahoma. So it was just a little lesson for me. You got to know your area. You got to know what normally happens in normal conditions.
Because there's a lot of those storms that kind of take that left and go up to Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
Right through Oklahoma City.
Yeah. The one place I'd never want to live is, where's Oklahoma? University.
Dallas.
No. Well,
End of story. Got it, folks?
Norman, Oklahoma. You couldn't give me a house to live in that place. It's been hit so many times it got to be like a punch drunk.
Where's more?
More.
It's right on
More.
the-
No.
They should have called it No More.
Yeah.
Because
It's right where
it was
my daughter
gone.
and son-in-law
Yeah.
live, so.
Yeah, because oh man, the destruction is unbelievable
That'd be rebuilding and another tornado hit.
there. Yeah.
Next day.
Insurance rates climbed if you lived in Moore.
What's the weather like in Indiana right now?
Wet and rainy. It's about all it's been for the last 2 or 3 weeks. In fact, it's kind of cool outside. You see, I got a sweatshirt on. My wife has a thing about sleeping cool at night. So you wake up in the morning, you can see your breath. So I have this sweatshirt on to stay warm.
It's good. That's the way I like it. Just frozen.
Well, I don't mind it cool, but good Lord, that woman, I swear.
Well, during that, what was that, 4 or 5 years ago? We got down to minus, 10 here?
Yeah, it froze everything, including all the water pipes. luckily we were on the same grid as the airport. And so if you lived next to a police station, a hospital, an airport, you were going to have power.
Yeah, we were right across the street from a fire station.
There you go.
I didn't have power. And it was so cold. I slept in my ski clothes, including my skis. I mean, I was so damn
Those
cold.
skis keep you warm?
I don't care. I was going to break them in half and burn them. Just anything. That was horrible. Yeah. It was a bitch.
Haywood, let's put you on the spot. Do us kind of do a skit for us. Can you do that?
Skit?
Yeah, whatever you did.
What
Pretty
did
much.
you do?
What? I was kind of wondering that
Just a
myself.
lot of BS.
What Hal was wondering.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him what I was going to do because I didn't know.
Well,
So
that's
it was-
kind of what I'm asking. Do what you're going to do because you don't know. So
All I did start off with, crime in the streets, breach of contract, matrimonial disharmony. It's a great day to be a lawyer. That's why I'd opened it up.
it worked for you.
It started, yeah.
Well, when you came over to Channel 11, and you were on the 7 o'clock news
Yeah.
on 21.
Too handsome for radio, by the way.
And I will never forget, he started a thing on Britney Spears.
Oh my gosh.
And everybody's on the floor. If they'd have cut to any of us, we would have been crying. But that was one of the funniest bits you ever did.
Yeah. I did, supposed to be serious commentary, which, I said bullshit. I
But
don't do serious.
they paid you a lot of money, didn't
Oh, a
they?
ton of money. Not as much as WBBAP paid me. Yeah.
If any of y'all heard Rooster McConaughey's show out in Midland,
I didn't know he had a show.
it's called Just Bullshit.
That's exactly-
He was here 2 or 3 times, but yeah.
He
And
said-
they do skits that involves helicopters and just
Yeah.
fun stuff.
His partner flies helicopter.
Yeah.
I mean, he's brilliant. guy.
Yeah.
Rooster just calls out Matthew all the time. He says,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
so full of shit. That book is just total nonsense.
Yeah.
Now, he loves his brother, obviously, but
Yeah.
Rooster's a character.
He's got a show and it's called It's Just Bullshit.
Yeah.
That's it. That pretty much describes every day when I went into radio.
It was.
It's about all.
God, it was fun. I just had fun.
Are you kidding me?
I just hung around. It was fun listening to him, just brand new, all these new voices, which I really love. Willie Lanham was a classic. The Lures.
There's golly, I forgot about old Willie.
Well,
Yeah.
nobody else did, I
That's
tell you.
great. That was my boy.
That was every Friday, I think.
Welcome to Tales of the Old West.
Dusty Plains.
I'm your guest host, Dusty Plains. Yeah, I always introduced it as Tales of the Old West with John Wayne, but John Wayne couldn't be with us.
Hilarious.
I'm going to have nightmares tonight about Del Rio, Texas. Wolfman Jack.
That's where he
God,
was.
Man,
you could hear him anywhere you were in Texas.
Yeah.
Well,
in the world, yeah. I mean, he was all over.
their transmitter had to be water cooled. That's how hot that thing would get.
Kind of like our data centers.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's a no-no. Don't talk about that.
Boy, gets a lot of crap about that.
Well, whenever y'all got called on the carpet, what's the funniest, worst thing you did to get called on the carpet?
well,
I called going one time. I got called seriously. It was about to let me go. Of course, what, you're not going to pay me anymore? Big deal. And I called going to the bathroom. I called it freeing Nelson Mandela. And Tyler Cox said, "You taking a dump with Nelson Mandela? What are you thinking about?" And I'm going, "You little shit, what are you doing?" I mean, I'm sitting there listening to that. And I was just going, I thought it was good. Everybody laughed in the studio, but I didn't say that. I left Mr. Mandela alone after that.
Which character got you in the most trouble?
Sammy, yeah, we did one time about a fishing deal. I still remember we knew the fish swallowed the hook because it was a female or something. I can't remember what the line was, but it was pretty bad, but we thought it was. we laughed our asses off. We thought it was great, but immediately after the show was over, we were in the office. But yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that.
But they couldn't fire you because the ratings were up.
Well, yeah.
So they said they got rid of all the characters.
So I don't know.
That's cumulus.
Did you
They're
get in
the worst.
trouble with any of your sponsors?
Well, I didn't have any. No, I don't think so. I think
I never had the sponsor. Our sponsors loved us.
Yeah.
So,
people
Well,
pull over the
you were delivering a huge audience to them. They were not going to complain too much.
Southwest Ford and Weatherford.
yeah. Absolutely.
You sold me a car. I believe everything you said. You did.
I forgot about it. When I was.
And then you leave town. So I'm going, what the hell's the matter here?
Well, because the car was a piece of crap. I didn't want to be in there.
I wish you would have told me. I made it halfway home. So
Yeah, but I made
had
a sweet commission on it, so I had to let go.
That's when you moved to Indiana, right there. You sold it to me.
Sold me thereafter. Yeah.
Did that car come with a Georgia warranty? It's good until you drive it off the lot?
That's it. Yeah, guaranteed to work as far as you know.
Till you're out of sight. Yeah. Actually, that's a pretty good car. Or a little hybrid. I don't know why they don't advertise those more. You get all kinds of mileage.
What kind of, was it a Cadillac?
No, it was a Hyundai Sonata. And seriously, times I'd go 45, almost 50 miles to the gallon. So, I was fine. I didn't have a lot of women beating on the windows wanting to take a ride, but I gave up that for the extra
gas
mileage.
You didn't cruise the Steak and Shake with that thing?
No, they throw rocks at me.
Gas mileage, when it became important, probably back in the 60s or so, my dad worked out at General Dynamics, and this guy got a new car, and he was just bragging about the gas mileage. So the guys that worked with Dad, they'd bring gas cans in, and every day they'd be putting gas in that guy's car, so he thought he was getting about 100 miles a gallon.
That's right.
Back when the gas shortage hit, they announced it on Friday afternoon. This is what's happening, so on and so forth. Everybody panics, of course. Well, I had a remote at a big Ford dealership Saturday afternoon. And I got out there. It's on a 4-lane highway. And I could have put one person in each lane and they would have never been hit because there was no traffic. So we're trying to think of something, and I asked the sales manager, do you have a car you could give away? It runs, it's in good shape, but you want to just get rid of it. Yeah, he said, I can find something like that. So we went on the air, and I said, okay, first person that comes into this dealership and weighs 125 pounds gets a free car. If I'm lying, I'm dying. 5 minutes later, this woman walks in, took her shoes off, stood in the scale, and she weighed 125 pounds. And that was the end of that promotion. God.
I figured a 225 pounder would have come in.
Well, yeah.
Wait a minute. Must be my jewelry.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Miss you, pal. You need to come back sooner.
I'm ready to move. I'm just waiting on Mama, and she's the one that was born in Texas, and I'm having a hard time getting her to come back.
Much as she's making.
Pardon?
I say as much as she's making now.
Oh yeah, it's kind of hard to say no right now. So. But my oldest son is getting married probably within the next 6 months, and his bride-to-be wants to have babies, and so there's no way I'm going to keep my wife away from her grandkids. So I will get back to that.
And the babies are going to be born in Texas, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Both of my oldest son spent 10 years in the Army. Then he got out of the Army and he was working for Abbott Pharmaceutical. He kept trying to get back to Texas and trying to get back to Texas. Finally, he had to quit and take a job from somebody else in Texas because he wanted to be home. So, yeah, we're on our way.
my youngest daughter, she fell in love with this guy from Oklahoma.
First
Yeah.
mistake.
Yeah. And so he came and said, "Hey, I want to marry Abby." I said, "Only under one condition. All my grandkids have to be born in Texas." Well, they've got 2 kids. First one's born in Texas. The other one's born in Oklahoma.
Uh-oh.
I'm and I didn't know that my son-in-law Joel, if I knew he was a half-breed, it'd been okay because his mama was born in Texas and his daddy was born in Oklahoma. Well, I'm a half-breed because my daddy was born in Oklahoma and my mom was born in Texas. So I wouldn't have been as hard on him about being an Okie as I
Your
was.
family must be a lot of fun at the Texas OU game.
It's confusing. It's
It must be
confusing.
fun. Matter of fact, who do you pull for in that game?
Neither one of them.
Okay.
Like the Dallas,
Good, safe answer.
like the Dallas Cowboys. I'm a fan of whoever they're playing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not alone. Well,
Getting that way.
Well, it's about time to look at each other and say, well, maybe next year.
Yeah, rebuilding year.
Yeah.
After the first game, they
Yeah.
did. Wait till next year.
Jerry's already announced it this year.
Yeah.
We're rebuilding now.
Yeah. Here we go.
After seeing all the hoopla about all the soccer, he's probably going to
Man,
start playing soccer instead of football over there.
I watched my first game yesterday. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the American team, God, they're doing great.
I watched that whole
I didn't
game.
expect them to get nearly this.
But you know, we had the restaurant owners about 2 months ago on the show, and they were talking about all the crowds. And I thought,
Oh, my
there's not
God.
going to be that many people.
This place across the street, I
It
couldn't
was
get out of the
packed.
parking lot.
Yesterday, we were over by University, and Rex's parking lot pulled south, and this was 1:30 in the afternoon, completely packed. And then you see those pictures of Sundance Square, 30,000 people down there.
Oh, man.
It's
Every one of them got DWIs. I guarantee you. They drink like crazy. I mean, they're here for the party.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. All these people from Europe coming here, they're absolutely nuts about the food. They never see anything like that.
Yeah.
They must have all robbed a bank out there because, man,
Oh, God. Well, what's a ticket? $2,300?
yeah, 4,000.
Parking's up to $400.
Nothing to it. I don't understand.
Then when you get to the restaurant, I called Burke over here and I said, "Did y'all pull out the special menus?" And he said, "What's the special menus?" When you know you got a full parking lot, dude. I went one time to the Indianapolis 500 and I'd been staying in this room for like a week, and then I went down there to pay my rent again for another week, and they said, "Well, that ain't working." And I said, "What do you?" Well, the 500 started, and I was at the one where you walk outside, you go over the track.
Yeah.
I said, so I think it was $20 a night when I was there. And he said, well, it's $120 now. And I said, well, I'm heading back to Texas.
We went to the Masters one year, and the only place we could find to stay was about 30 miles from Augusta. And it's, I don't know, some off the brand hotel, but it was like $300 a night.
Yeah.
And we left on Sunday afternoon, and the next day it was going to be about $60. So
Yeah.
everybody in that corner of Georgia made a ton of money, and I just like the Speedway.
Well, you can stay here at the Drover and pay $1,100 a night, or drive 2.5 miles to Best Western and pay $89. It's just a room.
Yeah. With
That's
a
a
window
friend.
unit
Yeah.
and somebody crawling in the window. You don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, some friends of ours went to the Drover for dinner one night. So I think it was going to be their anniversary, and the guy said, "Well, are you staying here?" And they said, "Well, no, we just came in for dinner."
Yeah.
You don't stay here, you don't eat.
The Bowie House right there on Cape Bowie, I think it's close to $1,200 a night too.
Yeah.
They're real proud of that.
I don't
So
understand.
that where the Castle Landmen all go. Well,
Oh,
went
yeah.
there to get drunk.
And that's,
Sam Elliott, seen him. Billy Bob was in there.
Yeah. Well, let's make one pass around the table. We're running. Are we still on that time delay deal where we run out of time in an hour and a half?
Probably about that on this one. I think we got 2 hours on that one.
Oh, we do.
You Central Time in Indiana, aren't you?
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock here.
Okay.
Do they still have 3 time zones in Indiana, John, or not? Because it used to be
I
nuts.
think, I think they do. You get up around close to Chicago, up in Gary, up in there,
Yeah,
it's a different time zone. And then I think southern Indiana
yeah.
is a different time zone as well. It's kind of screwy for a state that's no bigger than it.
You mean Gary, Indiana, the home of the Chicago Bears?
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Hey, you going to Indiana football games last year?
No. I have gone to a couple of my old high school football games,
Yeah.
but which was kind of odd. We had a 50th anniversary a couple of weeks ago, and it was really strange to see all those old people. I don't know who half of them were.
Yeah, really.
Are you anywhere close to Mooresville, Indiana?
No,
Have you
I'm
ever-
closer to Indy. I'm probably 20 miles northeast of Indianapolis.
One year I got on this kick of researching gangsters, and I said, well, let's go up to Mooresville, Indiana, where Dillinger was. And we're sitting here at a hand to God at a gas station, and a black guy and a Mexican guy walked up, and we were talking to him, and he said, we all here from out of town? And I had a camera guy with me, and I said, yeah. And he said, well, you're close to where Dillinger is, but hell, we still take up his profession, pulled a gun out, and robbed us.
Gee.
And I said, is this a spoof or something? He pulled that hammer back, and I said, hold on, let me get my money. Can you leave 20 for gas? I got to put gas.
Yeah.
That was a bad
Yeah, and
mistake.
I want to say, is it Fairfield where James Dean is buried?
Yeah.
Fairfield, Indiana. That's our claim to fame. Oh, yeah, and the Jacksons. We got up to Jacksons.
Andy Jackson.
Yeah, Michael and all of them. So that's about it. Not a whole lot. I mean, what was it? There are more people in Dallas-Fort Worth, I discovered the other day, than there are in the entire state. So
I believe that.
not a lot of people here.
We'd be happy to send some of them up there for you.
Yeah.
Just back the whole town of Dallas. Let's just do that.
There you go. Yeah, I remember people give me a hard time about being from Indiana, and I discovered not too long after I moved to Texas, John Justin was from Indiana, so I didn't feel too bad.
Wow.
Is that Justin Boots?
Yeah.
The Justin Boots guy, the guy that founded him, was originally from Indiana, which means everybody wanted to get the hell out of Indiana and get down to Texas.
What a Justin mayor here in Fort Worth?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. John Justin, right?
John Justin. When I was in elementary school, he was the mayor, and he came to our school, and I thought it was good.
Really?
Yeah.
74, I think, was the.
Yeah, this was before that.
Oh, okay.
What,
I was
50s.
trying to think when he was the mayor. I thought it was 74.
He had a retread boot shop on Vickery.
Yeah.
Boots, I mean, they're missing a stitch or something.
Yeah.
Nobody could tell.
Research.
They were like, 1/3 of the price. That's where I got all my stuff and my shirt. In fact, all my clothes.
Well, there used to be a place there in someplace in Fort Worth where you could get. It was a Justin Boot factory second store where you.
That was
That's
it. That was it on Vickery.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Boots didn't last that long, but cheap.
Lady still making boots up on the north side?
Yeah.
They're going to build
Yeah, they're
a
good
parking
boots.
garage, I think.
Yeah.
Ladies is.
They're a little too pricey. $800 for, I'll go barefoot.
Well, that's
And I have to.
that's jump change for a man like you.
You're right. All that money I made at WAP, I've saved it all.
Well,
Yeah.
that's how I was able to
Bought a lot of
retire.
SpaceX yesterday, and I'm in great shape.
Cheap boots ain't good, and good boots ain't cheap.
So, true story.
You say that about some women I used to know too.
I found my women never kissed on first dates or the last.
Was that the same date or what?
No.
Like taking your mom out. No, well.
Friendly ones are getting scarce.
Rick, you got any ideas for future Saturday roundtables? We got boxing in Cowtown next week.
Boxing in Cowtown's next week, Saturday afternoon.
Well, we're going to have John in person one of these days.
Yeah.
He'll be
John
here.
down here.
I talked to Hal too. Hal said he's ready to.
He's ready to go.
Yeah.
July, I seriously think, John, they're either going to cut his salary way back or, tell him to go ahead. He wants to retire.
I would think he would. My God.
Yeah.
I mean,
But radio is dead. I mean, it's all streaming and podcast.
How old is Hal?
He's 73.
Got 73.
73.
How long has he been at BAP?
I don't know.
let's see. I started there.
I think he knew Moses.
I started there in '84, I think, or '85, and he had already been there 5 years. So
He rode the
46 years.
Yeah.
46 years. Long time.
Yeah.
in a while.
That big deal when it's 40.
That's a lot of commuting because 2 shows a day, commute back.
He
and
did.
forth. And you have to get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Where does he live?
Ridgely.
Hills.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or Ridgely. He's driving there now. He zoomed when he was going through that heart issue.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of like here, and this is clear as a bell. I like this. You're coming in really good.
Yeah, I like the fact that I don't have to get dressed or anything. I'm butt ass naked.
Yeah, from the waist down.
Waist down.
What makes you think we have any clothes?
It's better without my pants on. So.
God, I hope that camera doesn't slip.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Not a pretty sight. Not a pretty sight.
Our ratings will go way down.
Yeah, really.
Haywood, have you got any, besides Hal, any future prospects to come on this show?
We got right here is, I think, classic. Hal will,
He'll be jealous.
these two got together. It's just, it's gold. They'd start we could start a podcast station. But they're great. And here's our weather guy right here.
Well, we can do it. We've got all the makings. If we can just get all the technical stuff,
I may have an in on getting one of the cast members of Landman. Just want to get and see. And it's a her.
Allie?
Could be.
I'll be here.
You'll be here, huh? Bring your umbrella.
Yeah. You watching Landman at all up there?
Me?
Yeah.
I watched every episode. Loved it.
No, nothing like. That's the biggest TV event I think ever. Never seen anything like it.
Bob just kills that show. He's the guy that makes it.
The only thing I ever caught about that show is he was on the road, and he said it was a 3-hour drive to Dallas from Middle. I don't think so.
That ain't a drive.
That's hauling ass. Midland.
No matter where you are, you're at least 3 hours away from Frisco. I don't care if you're across the street.
If you're in Dallas, you're still 2 hours away from Dallas.
Yeah.
First of all, what am I doing in Dallas? Okay.
Try to stay on this side of the county line.
I swear, the way that place is growing, one of these days, people that work in Dallas, call Dallas home or Frisco home, are going to have Oklahoma tags.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just getting so doggone big.
They have it on their home. They're called RVs. You need to put a fence up there.
Well,
like
you can't get out of town if you take 35 up to Denton.
Yeah. Oh, hell no.
It's all town.
No.
Are we running close on?
I can walk to the lines faster than you can drive there.
Let's go down
The airport. All right, you coming down to visit though sometime before you move?
Sometime.
Hopefully.
Your son's getting married. When's that happen?
Yeah. Well, the girl he's marrying is from the Philippines.
Oh,
She's one of those.
I talk to those. She must be in tech. I talk to those people all the time. I never talk to an American.
Yeah, they're trying to get her over here, and apparently they're having some problems with immigration. She was originally supposed to be here
5
now,
minutes.
Yeah.
but it looks like it'll be closer to Christmas time. So we're just kind of waiting to see what happens.
Did he meet her over there, John? Or
Yeah, he did. Met her over there.
was he in the service there?
No, he was vacationing when met her over there.
I mean,
He spent a ton of money going back and forth to the Philippines. He said, I think it'd be cheaper to carry her and just bring her here. I said, yeah, you're probably right.
Whenever you come back to Texas for a visit, we'll try to get Hal here.
Hal wants to come. I mean, yeah.
And then y'all can just sit here and just write some stuff. And
we'll get Sean Chastain here.
Yeah, get the brains of the operation in there. That's it.
Good Sean.
We'll have a reunion.
He's trying to, I think he actually is part owner of a machine shop now. He's been doing that, going to class at Weatherford College.
I thought you had him lined up one time to come on.
Well, I tried to get, he's bad about answering the phone as Hal is. But he does, when he wants to go eat, yeah, he's there.
Well, tell him we're going to feed him.
Yeah, that's all we need to do. Wave a pork chop in front of you.
We can get those. We can get the restaurant owners back. That'll be a good show.
We'll be flush with cash after this soccer
Oh, yeah.
deal.
Really?
I remember Hal and I used to get on the air and beg for food. Man, we got some good eats there for a while till the program director caught on to it.
You can buy a case of Guinness right now, and so does all these Irish cats.
Awesome.
For millions. They're doing some heavy drinking around here. All those soccer fans. Constantly drunk.
Okay, gentlemen, let's anybody go around the table one more time. We're down to about a 3-minute window.
All right, guys. Hey, this has been a lot of fun. And next time, let me know. I'm pretty much available. Being retired, I don't have much of a life. So.
I understand.
Are you still selling cars?
He's working at
No.
Cabela's.
No.
Oh, you're working at Cabela's.
Just a couple of days a week at Cabela's. I'm selling guns, but
Well, when you come down here, I'm wired into all the car dealers, so.
John's a big hunter. He's a big hunter. A lot of deer will be pissed off when he moves back here. They've been living, a lot of them, they're growing now. When you're back here.
I had to adjust this camera. We're in what my wife calls the room of death. I've got all my deer heads are behind me. He said, make sure that camera's down so they don't see those dead deer.
Well, thank you for being here.
Oh, it's
Yes.
been my pleasure. It's been a lot of fun. I enjoyed every day.
Hey,
I'd like to come back sometime.
Yeah, you had that horrible cough. We had Danny Dean.
Oh man, it took 4 doctors in 2 weeks to get rid of that, and every one they said, we don't know what's causing that. Try it.
But here's your bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know what's wrong with it, but I know how much it costs.
Yeah.
It kind of worries you when a doctor hasn't got a clue what's going on, and you feel like tomorrow may be it.
Yeah.
All right, you're available, I guess. We're gonna do this again. We'll have the big boy
Just let
here.
me know.
Okay.
I need about at least a week, maybe a 2-week notice, because that's how they schedule things there at the big box store. But I never have a problem getting them off.
You're a veteran now.
Yeah.
You've been a real pleasure, John.
Boy, it's good to see you. Miss you
Yeah.
around here.
Good to
Rick,
be seen.
Haywood, and Mike, it's been a good show.
Thank you, buddy.
Go spend some money
Where?
wherever.
Lend me some and I'll go spend it.
There you go.
Okay, we're